Alright, looks like we're live. Hey guys, this is the VeriCoin Hangout, and I'm sorry that I don't have video. I just spent most of the afternoon replacing my car's water pump because I couldn't go anywhere. So I'm pretty shot, but Doug, you can see his nice new location to film from, and he has video, and hopefully it won't drop out this time. But I hope you're all ready for the drinking game.
Yeah, and I actually have like decent video this time, so that's good.
And at the end of the day, that we want decent video.
And you could also potentially start a drinking game at the beginning of the next day, because that would be the inverse, if that's fun.
All right, so we're going to give first thanks to everyone who supported us getting to Chicago. It was really cool being able to meet all the other coin developers and people into cryptocurrency and stuff. It was really cool. A very fun time. We learned a lot, and we got to teach a lot of people about VeriCoin. So I guess, Doug, you wanna go through the days and let everyone know what we did, and I'll fill in the gaps.
Yeah, sure. So first thing is, it was really interesting to see the different digital currency communities, and it was obviously mostly a Bitcoin community, but there were some really interesting people, really bright people doing really cool stuff. There wasn't too many altcoin communities. We were one of the few that were around that were talking about their coin. We met up with a lot of people who are VeriCoin fans. That was kind of exciting because we got to associate names with faces, names from online with faces, and we had a lot of interesting conversations about that. We also talked to one of the major decentralized exchange platforms, and they're interested in working with us on building a decentralized exchange client. And as we get deeper into that, we're still in kind of negotiation period a bit, and technical measuring technical compatibility and such with their system. But we'll be going into details about that in the future, and that would be a nice option for people to essentially prevent. In addition to it just being prevented by a wider distribution of coin, in the earlier stages it would be important also to use decentralized exchange as an option to prevent the circumstance at NinPal that happened. And so that was a really nice connection that we made. And it's these decentralized exchanges are a multi-sig platform, which is in many ways going to be the future of potentially property and legal property acquisition and contracts. So that's pretty interesting stuff. We also we went around and spoke with a number of people working on different ATMs and such for digital currencies, and talk to them about what the possibilities are of getting VeriCoin into ATMs from different companies. We might have a community member who might be setting up one in Chicago that we know about. And we also saw some really great talks. We saw Charlie Lee give a talk, the creator of Litecoin. He put things in a nice metaphorical frame, where he basically, and this actually leads to some categorization that I think we might do in the future regarding VeriCoin. But basically, his assertion was that Bitcoin is essentially like gold, and that follows with the model of the system. It's essentially very similar to Nick Szabo's proposals for BitGold. That's why the metaphor of mining exists, which actually secures the blockchain, but it's set up such that you're mining for a natural resource like gold, and that's why the the inflation falls off in that context, as well as why there's not a huge amount of supply. It's a scarce, rare commodity, essentially. So Charlie Lee was talking about gold, Bitcoin in the context of gold, digital gold, and he was talking about Litecoin in the context of digital silver, being something that is a little bit easier to exchange with because it's not quite as valuable, but still valuable enough to use as a store of value. And we're actually thinking more along the lines of VeriCoin in this context, being less like a precious metal and more like digital cash. And in this sense, what we mean is it's the block time for VeriCoin is very fast. It's proof of stake, so it's very efficient. It doesn't require a lot of energy input into the system, so it's compatible with vast distributed usage. That won't hamper potentially the energy requirements of modern living, especially as we go into the future and more things become electronic. So that was that's one set of metaphors that Charlie Lee put out, and we think that VeriCoin is actually positioned to be more like an everyday currency that's used for anything at all possible. And in that context, relative to Bitcoin and Litecoin, more like digital cash, less like a store of value that's mined along the lines of a precious metal. We also saw a talk by Vitalik from Ethereum, which was very interesting, and the Bitcoin 2.0 platform, I think, is that they're working on, which is basically an open platform for scripting on many different aspects of decentralization in the context of organization. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see what happens as time comes. But we still think we're in a really unique position to have a very fast, efficient, stable, secure, everyday usage currency in our implementation of the proof of stake model. Pat, do you want to go into some other things?
Yeah, so I guess let's talk about some of the VeriCoin fans we met. There were a lot of really cool people. Some guys flew up from Texas, hung out with us, bought us dinner, which was really nice of them. We met Giovanni, who lives in Chicago. He's a very intelligent PhD researcher at Northwestern University. He gave us a lot of really cool input, and it was just fun talking to him about biology and other stuff. It's really neat to be able to go somewhere and have people already sort of be your friends, which is definitely a cool aspect of cryptocurrency. We had a really nice dinner with one of our big StartJoin sponsors, the founder of the VeriBank, and their group is working on some really neat stuff with VeriBank. It sounds like they're in their steps of getting legal advice and merchant adoption set up, but they have a lot of really cool stuff in the works, including stuff similar to Coinbase, I guess. I don't know how much detail I can go into, but I guess that's pretty vague. And yeah, essentially, it's going to be really powerful, a place you can store your money, earn interest, have staking cold storage, which is a nice benefit of having the original POS system instead of POS, long-term staking in cold storage. A lot of neat stuff. They're talking about using multiple passwords to access your account, so you could sort of share information, or you can share partial access, and hopefully fiat conversion and stuff. So anyway, I'll let them talk about it when they're there. But they made some contacts with some crypto press, so hopefully you'll read an article about it pretty soon. But I think really this could revolutionize VeriCoin, allow merchants to adopt it really easily in a way similar to BitPay and other stuff. So I would say that was actually the highlight of my trip. we had that meeting over dinner at one of the best Cajun restaurants I've ever been to, and it was just the food was really good, the atmosphere was awesome. It was really great meeting people, and really the the people that are behind VeriBank have a really strong resume, as strong or stronger than a lot of the other, a lot of Bitcoin websites. Um, these people were successfully won a lawsuit against the U.S. government in the Supreme Court about money laws and stuff like that. So these guys are really serious. They have a huge amount of potential and are going to be really successful, I think. So VeriBank is going to be something that's going to be really good for VeriCoin. And then we had dinner the next day with my cousin's husband, who was a coin developer. I'm sure some of you can figure out who it is, but he went into detail about how he thought there was an ecosystem with room for at least 3 coins, as Doug was saying, like a gold, silver, and like a cash-like. And we think really VeriCoin fits in really well because of the fast transaction times, and he agreed with us. And lots of reasons, such as how eco-friendly it is and how it's easy to carry on a mobile wallet now. And hopefully we can get it integrated in, so there's a nice 3-tier system, if not more, and have something that is fast and easy to use that everyone can have in their wallet, so that they can pay for a taxi when they get in one, for example. So I guess really there's not much more to talk about at the convention except for us in some discussions with some other some product companies over there. For example, there's one called Storage Coin, which is gonna basically release something like Dropbox, but you can pay for using cryptocurrency. And I don't really know much about their business model and stuff yet, but they were really interested in accepting VeriCoin. Actually, at one point during the conference, we walked out of, I think, Ethereum's talk, I guess, and we were swarmed with. There must have been 30 or something people. I think Doug has a picture of it. Just all are surrounding us because we were wearing our VeriCoin shirts. It was really cool to see that. But yeah, the conference went really well. I made a lot of good connections, and it was all in all a great event. I think it'll pay off really well for the VeriCoin community.
Yeah, and actually, one of the things that so one of the take-home messages from the conference was actually that Bitcoin and digital currency is still so young. It was actually a little surprising because we're deep in the digital currency community, so we don't often think of it like this. But it was a relatively small conference, considering how vast and powerful we think the technology is. So that was interesting, and then in the context of that, we started thinking about setting up the VeriLeader regional team leading project, and this has actually become really really exciting. It's something. The way we're doing it and what we're doing is something that no other digital currency has done, and we think it's going to actually be a complete game changer in the context of our distribution and the number of people that are going to successfully use VeriCoin and what kind of ripple effects that could have. And what I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do, but we're going to strategize with the team leaders. Anyone can be a team leader. If you go to the veritalk.info website, you can go into the community section, and there's a forum post by me explaining just like the basic introduction of the VeriLeader team project, and you can post on there, say where you're from, and what you think about being a VeriLeader in the future with this project. And we have some ideas that we'll begin to share with you guys, but essentially what it is going to be a way it's going to be twofold. It's going to be a way for us as the developers and as the VeriCoin community, the people who are strongly active in the community. It's going to be a way for us to communicate with each other continually, effectively, to distribute plans for getting the word out about VeriCoin, to distribute strategies for how we want to how we want to be accepted in different merchant capacities. And so we're going to be communicating with the VeriLeaders, and the VeriLeaders will communicate with their local region, and they'll be it's totally voluntary, and they'll be willing and able to do communication in their local community with people who they think might be interested in digital currency. So if someone's in East Africa, someone actually signed up who's from East Africa, if that person, and I'm gonna bring up some names of the VeriLeaders we have so far and the regions that they're from, but if that person, I'll bring up his name in a moment. Sorry, I don't know it off the top of my head. If that VeriLeader in East Africa has merchants in mind that he thinks might be interested and willing to accept digital currency, he could go there. We could supply him with some pamphlets, some information, some stickers, whatever the case may be, something tangible that people can hold, a paper wallet with some VeriCoin on it, and that person, that VeriLeader, can go to that merchant and explain what digital currency is, explain to him what the advantages are. And we can basically really grow outside of the crypto community, outside of the crypto space. We can grow digital currency in general and VeriCoin effectively. And there's nothing like someone from your local town coming to you and saying, this, you got to try this. This blows away what you've been doing with Western Union or what you're doing with a credit card. This is what you can do that will have less overhead for your business. It'll be easier to accept, and let me show you how this works. And so that's one major aspect of it. The VeriLeaders, ultimately, we would like to have them begin to set up their own small groups of people who are interested and want to learn more about VeriCoin and digital currency. The VeriLeaders will have early access to any new features that we are working on. They'll be, if they want to be, essentially the beta testers of some of the technologies that we'll be beginning to implement. And one of the key aspects of this is going to be really interesting, is they'll be in the field essentially testing out, whether it be the Android wallet or the SMS wallet, or testing out a new feature in the wallet, in the desktop wallet that makes it easier for merchants to use and things like that. Whatever the case may be, they'll be testing it out in the field. They'll be able to give us information about, is there enough nodes in that region of the world? Is there a convenient way to go from VeriCoin to the local currency? If not, how can we remedy that, potentially with ATMs and such? But one of the key things that we're really excited about is getting feedback from all different regions of the world through the VeriLeader program. So not only will the VeriLeaders be trying out the newest technology in the field, but they'll also be collecting information about different countries, what the regulations are, what the restrictions are, what the constraints are for the people to use digital currency, and sending information back to us so that we can make essentially consensus decisions as a community about what the best features are that maximize the number of people who can use VeriCoin in their daily life. So that's a quick overview of the VeriLeader project. It's going to be a long-term project. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger over time, and it's going to get more and more and more developed over time until we think we'll really have a totally new way to enter the market for digital currency, and get a lot of feedback from the ground in all the different places of the world, and we're pretty excited about that. I'm going to quickly go through some of the locations so that people know where we already have people who have volunteered to be a VeriLeader. So we have Kleinap in Amsterdam, SoCal in Louisiana. We have Amsterdammer in Portugal. We have EDOC in Los Angeles. We have Cavando, who does VRC Radio, which is a fantastic community project. SoCal is a DJ on that, and we're really I mean, it's so cool. It's so cool to have a radio station for VeriCoin and news and people talking about it, because we're all kind of really interested in it and into it, and it's a really vibrant and interesting community. So to have something like a radio station is fantastic. Cavando's gonna be a VeriLeader for Massachusetts, and then very viral is in Florida. Moluccas is in Australia. These are the forum names I'm mentioning. Kebwesi is in East Africa. That's the person I was mentioning before. Me and Pat are in the New Jersey, New York metro area. So we're going to be covering that area. Block Risk is covering the Vancouver, British Columbia area. Positively Insane is covering the Cebu, Philippines area. Philippines around Cebu. OFP is going to be a VeriLeader in Brazil. Snakesoft is going to be a VeriLeader in the Dominican Republic. And I'm going to keep going through the list. There's not too many more, but I want to go through this because I want each person in a different part of the world to realize that there's actually going to be someone that they can talk to, whether on Twitter or in the forum, that will be speaking to them about their local, addressing their local concerns for digital currency and VeriCoin in particular. Loots in Staten Island, Buy for Crypto in Central New York, and then we have we have RawCrypt in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. We have Snakesoft is going to be doing a bunch of work in Latin America. MG Gold in West Virginia. Monkeys is in Melbourne, Australia. Investing 123 is going to be in the Charlotte area. Nifty Nate, who also works with Cavando to do VRC Radio, is going to be in the Cape Cod area. FTCom in Colombia. And Croato, if I mispronounced people's names, sorry. Croato is going to be in covering Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, and Montenegro. And Semantics 32 is going to be covering the New Hampshire region. And okay, so those are the actually missed one. Hold on one second. Crypto Coin NL is going to be covering the Netherlands. So if you're from anywhere near those regions, know that there's going to be someone who can speak directly with you via the different social media tools. You know, where we have IRC, Twitter. Potentially by phone if you're interested. Find out your local concerns. Find out what you really want as far as VeriCoin and digital currency in your region. And then I'm also going to talk quickly about the VeriCoin fiat wallet. So two things. One thing is there is currently a known issue that me and the team is working aggressively on to resolve. It only affects certain Windows users. I'm not sure what the percentage is. Maybe I think it's like 20-30% of Windows users. It's not essentially the Buy VeriCoin button is just showing a blank page. It has to do with we're real close to solving the problem. Be on the lookout for an update very soon. It has to do with the dynamically linked libraries in Windows that are essentially conflicting with some versions of the Windows operating system, or they require different types of dynamic link libraries. And we're using a web interface in the wallet that is very specific because we need it to work over OpenSSL, so that you can have security when logging into an exchange, proper security. So it's very important that we get this right. And just know that we're actively working on it, and it will be resolved very soon. Mac users haven't had the issue at all; they're unaffected. Linux users as well. Also, the majority of Windows users haven't had this issue. So, so if you have a blank page from the Buy VeriCoin button, it's going to be addressed soon. We're working on it feverishly. Sorry for the delay. Also, the other thing I want to talk about regarding the VeriCoin fiat wallet is that we're in phase 1. So phase 1 is essentially just get the wallet to communicate properly with an exchange, make it so that it's easy as possible to get from the wallet to an exchange. That's the primary goal. However, we're going to be working much more on this, so it doesn't stop right here. This is just the beginning. We're working with Moolah, and Moolah's working to build out a completely customized exchange interface that's going to sit in the wallet, probably continue to be in a pop-up window that's part of the wallet application, because it'll be easier to see everything that way as opposed to like docked into the wallet. But it's part of the wallet application, and it will grow. There will be more exchanges. It won't be just Moolah. Moolah is just the first established exchange that is likely to have volume that you can go from VeriCoin to a fiat currency in relatively quickly after you set up your account. But the goal here is basically it's not necessarily for the people who are in the digital currency space. I mean, it's obviously going to be convenient for them, but the goal here is not to give them something that is totally different than what they're used to, because they're used to moving coin to exchanges, cashing it out, all these things. This is going to be more convenient for them, but what this is really going to be possible for is the people who are completely new to crypto, where basically we could potentially be on some sort of national media organization or radio and just say download the VeriCoin wallet, click the Buy VeriCoin button, register and start buying VeriCoins with your checking account. Moolah's also working on other methods of payment, such as credit cards and other things. That'll make this even easier, and it'll make it even simpler to customize into the wallet as an integrated aspect of the wallet. So that's going to be a work in progress, and the way we're doing it is such that you won't have to actually upgrade the VeriCoin wallet to get access to the new exchange platforms, the new customized Moolah exchange platform, because we're basically linking the wallet directly to Moolah right now, but we're going to have a portal where there's multiple exchanges for multiple currencies, and you choose that as you click that button. So it's gonna be a work in progress, but as everyone knows, in digital currency there's a lot of regulatory constraints and such, so it's not the simplest thing to tackle. It's definitely taken even just this simple implementation because of OpenSSL and other factors. It's taken longer than we thought just to get this simple version out. I apologize for that. I didn't really anticipate it, but we're going to be really working to improve that aspect of the wallet and make it easy for everyone, make it something that you can actually understand for someone who is not familiar with crypto at all. And also one more thing I want to make note of is we really appreciate in the last 2 days the brainstorming that's been going on the forum. We are following it. It's hard. There's so much awesome ideas, so much interesting material. It's hard for us to work on the wallet and communicate with different people in the community and organize things and set up for the party and all these things, and also all the time comment on the forums. We are paying attention. We do are really interested in some of the ideas that are coming out. We'll definitely be entertaining a debate about what people want to have in the wallet. That's one of the reasons we have the VeriLeader program. If you have ideas, and even if you're from a region that's already covered by another VeriLeader, that's not a problem. What we're really looking for is someone who's passionate, inspired, wants to communicate with people, wants to debate what features should be, wants to be an active member of the community, and part of that would also be talking to your local region. That was I covered most of the things on my list. Pat, what did you want to go into next?
Yeah, first I wanted to mention, I don't know if we really covered it, but there's a really cool VeriCoin community forum. It's veritalk.info, veritalk.info, and you guys should check it out. It's really a lot more calm than the Bitcoin Talk thread. So feel free to check it out. One of our community members runs it, and it's actually very well run and very well done. So
yeah, and that's where the VeriLeader project is. So if you go to veritalk.info and go to the community projects section, there'll be a post by me on the VeriLeader project. So that's an example of some of the things we do on that forum.
Yep. I guess the next thing I want to talk about, I don't know if you guys have seen on the Reddit, but an economist who got his PhD from the University of Oxford and is currently a professor at the University of Surrey in the UK, wrote a really nice analysis of VeriCoin from an economic perspective, and he really likes the dynamic interest model for a couple of reasons. One, there's going to be big crashes based on the interest rate. If people move their coin out of staking, you can see that. The second is looking at how the interest rate sort of follows something. It ensures the stability of the value, similar to the way economists use something called the Taylor rules. Anyway, it's a really cool read. You guys should check it out. It seems like our interest model, like we originally studied before we released the coin, is actually very well suited for a stable economy. So just go to the Reddit and click on Tom D. Holden's thread, comments on VeriCoin from an academic economist. I guess it's time for us to go to the questions now. Oh, actually, before I go to that, we had a really cool, really good success with people on the pool, and we were able to give away 2 Zeus miners. They're going to be shipping out early next week. A person in Eastern Europe and a person in Western Europe are the 2 that won, so it's going to be expensive for me to ship them, but it's okay. They deserve it. So make sure you're mining at the pool. We have 2 more Zeus miners to give away, and we're not exactly sure how we're going to do it yet, but if you're on the pool, we might have some retroactive top hash rates, the last few days or something like that. So keep up the good work and keep mining, and yeah, hopefully you guys can win some Zeus miners.
And I just want to mention one thing that regarding the VeriLeaders, just so everyone knows, Amsterdammer is Bruno. You see Bruno all the time on Twitter. He is always working on these awesome graphic designs for VeriCoin. It's great. I mean, he's put in so much effort. He has such talent. It's really awesome. He's covering Portugal, and I just wanted to mention that specifically because his name is different on the VeriTalk forum, but he's a super active community member by either Bruno or Amsterdammer.
Cool. So you want to go to the questions, Doug?
Yeah, we can start with the questions.
All right. So the first one, he's talking about the price decrease. We're not really going to speculate on the price. We don't control it. The coin's 3 months old. Just make sure you have realistic expectations on such a young coin. It really, one thing that we've learned doing this is that there's just a crazy amount of corruption. I think because the crypto market is so unregulated. But just be really careful. Don't invest what you can't afford to lose. Of course, is the one of the main things they tell you when you start investing. But we're in for the long haul. I don't know why people keep asking us if we dumped. No, we didn't dump. We're not going to dump. We don't. I would rather see the coin go to zero than for me to sell any, because it just doesn't. I'll probably have to sell some at some point if I lose my job or something. But there's no point in us selling for what we consider to be way under what its real value is in the future. So anyway, no, we didn't dump. We're not going to dump. Please don't ask us again if we have or will dump, because we're not going to.
And on that point, I'll just say one thing that this is just a market thing, but the more we bring new people into digital currency, the more we're going to have to, as a community, communicate to people what the typical market dynamics are, and some people just may not know. So there's a peak, there's a fall off, there's a plateau. Sometimes there's a crash, and then there's a rise, and then there's a peak, and then there's a plateau, and it's just there's these patterns that are inevitable. The temptation is that when the rise is continuing, it's going to continue forever. This is like an infinite rally, But at the end of the day, that's not reality. And everybody, as most people know, if you're not familiar with the markets, you always have to consider those things. And if there's people in the community that just aren't aware of these things, definitely be patient with them, because if you're just getting into digital currency, you may be getting into it for one reason or another and not even understanding the whole market aspect of it. We can be patient with people, especially if we're bringing new people in.
Yeah, and also, the Bitcoin talk thread is great, and there's a lot of cool stuff people are talking about, speculation and stuff. But unfortunately, Doug and I are we have jobs, and Dave has a job. Unfortunately, Dave couldn't be with us tonight, but sometimes we don't read everything that goes on there. So, like saying, man, the devs haven't replied to my question in like days. Yeah, sorry. I probably just didn't read it. I didn't mean to not reply. I'm sure Doug didn't mean to not reply. Dave didn't mean to not reply. It's not abnormal for us to miss some things. We're not always reading about VeriCoin stuff, and we're not always working on VeriCoin stuff because we have lives. Doug has a family. I have a girlfriend. I have, my brother lives nearby, and Dave just bought a house and stuff. So, while VeriCoin is one of our top concerns, it is not our only concern. And especially, there's a lot of, in my opinion, very immature talk about prices and how people are, they don't believe in the coin anymore because the price went down. Like, if you want the coin to be taken seriously, you can't have such a short-sighted view where, 3 days before you're talking about how VeriCoin is the next, Bitcoin, and then a couple days later you're saying, I don't believe in the coin anymore. It really just makes you look bad. So, please think about what you're saying, and just be more mature about it, I guess. Anyway, so this question talks about how moolah rates are out of line. That's because people that have orders in, they set the book. So if you want, you can change your what you want to sell or buy for. So the same person suggests we do an elevator pitch about VeriCoin. That's a really good idea. I don't think we are the best people to do this. I think there's thousands of members of the VeriCoin community now. There is bound to be one or more people that is really good at doing this kind of stuff. Someone who might have been an actor or actress and can convey the message really well. Maybe someone who knows about digital design or something that can make a cool video. We had a bounty for something like this, but it seemed like not really anyone was very interested. But if you're interested, send us an email, vericoin@vericoin.info, or message us on the Bitcoin Talk thread or veritalk.info, and let us know if you can help us. We will ask Chris Perillo if he wants to do something like this, because that was a very good suggestion. We're going to have our 1-hour video soon with him. We just talked to him today. And actually, the hidden VeriCoin thing is very interesting. We're actually working with Big T, who's going to be coming to our party. By the way, I forgot to mention, If you're in the New York area or can get there on Monday night at 7 p.m., please come to our VeriCoin party. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Got a lot
And
of
that's,
giveaways.
and that's going to be the first time me and Pat give a talk about VeriCoin, so we're actually really excited about that, and it'll be a nice overview of everything we're working on, everything we've worked on, and Dave's not going to be there unfortunately because he's on the West Coast, but he'll be at another event for sure. But yeah, there's going to be music, there's going to be pizza, there's going to be drinks. There's going to be a band. It should be pretty cool. We're excited to meet up with everybody.
Yep. So this hidden VeriCoin, the idea is put some VeriCoin in people's wallets and hide them around New York City or something, or other cities. BitKey makes really awesome titanium wallets.
Yes.
And we're thinking maybe make some of those, fill them with some VeriCoin, and leave them all around. Have various people leave them all around. So anyway, that's something I've sort of been thinking about. We don't have any firm concrete plans yet, but I think it would be cool in light of the guy who did it with Dogecoin in San Francisco. The next one, you seem like a group that does some long-term thinking. What are your hopes for VeriCoin a year from now? Well, Doug, you want to talk about your hopes?
Yeah. So I would say the VeriLeader project is one of our more long-term projects. We're also working on some technologies for the wallet that are more long-term, related to the protocol, related to decentralized decentralized anonymous transactions, and other things that we're going to be more long-term, but they're going to be big. They're going to be really huge for making it both secure, safe, and easy for people to use the wallet. We're not going to get into too many details about it right now because we want to flesh things out a little more before we start presenting details and talking about potential deadlines and things like that. But we are actively working on pretty much all aspects of the technology, and some are more short-term, some are more long-term. We're obviously we're looking to spread this coin all over the world. You can see that directly by the VeriLeader project. So our hopes are to do that. That would not only educate people about digital currency, it would make people's lives easier, especially in circumstances where things are quite difficult, with either whether it be regulation or bank fees or whatever the case may be, and also the more people who use VeriCoin, the higher the demand is, the better the value of VeriCoin is. So it's kind of like a win-win-win. The hope is that we get a win-win-win. We get people learning about digital currency. We get people's lives and businesses made easier, and we increase the demand for VeriCoin. And everyone benefits in many different ways. That's the hope. Any more specific than that is just unrealistic guessing, kind of. But we're definitely really passionate and focused on those goals.
Another thing I forgot to mention was a user, a VeriCoin community member, started making embroidered VeriCoin clothes, which we think are really cool. So you can go to shop.moolah.io/VRC and lowercase LOTHES, and you can get your own VeriCoin clothes. It's really cool. So anyway, I think I posted. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but hopefully you can. The next question.
The next question, I could do it. What projects would you guys like to see the community undertake? We're gonna, like I said, we really like the brainstorming everybody's been doing, and if you're interested in becoming active, you should sign up as a VeriLeader, because that's going to be our infrastructure for projects that the community will undertake. So either meet up talk to, get in contact with your local Vera leader or become one, and that'll be the way to to become active in the projects that the community is working on. And go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay.
You have any more about that question?
No.
Okay. I think the top things we need people to do are help make publicity elements, similar to what Bruno's been doing with the images, but we need really good descriptive videos for people that are new to crypto or new to VeriCoin to find out about what's unique about VeriCoin. In addition, we need people to get merchants near them to start accepting VeriCoin. So even if they don't accept it, talk to them about it. Tell them why you think it would be good for them to accept. And hopefully soon we can get some guys on board. And eventually we'll be like Bitcoin and have people like Dell take us, even though you can purchase a Dell computer using Veribit right now. But in my opinion, those are two of the most important things. And actually they link really well with the VeriLeaders project.
Yeah.
So the next question, do you have any more, Doug?
No.
The next question is, you and another dev, so that's Doug and I, are pursuing PhDs in bio. VeriCoin seems to be a departure from that path. Having been a graduate student with similar conflicts, I'm interested to know how you reconcile your current academic pursuits and future career aspirations with your commitment to VeriCoin. Well, hopefully I'll be done with my PhD pretty soon. I don't know what's next, but I don't see any reason for me to stop working on VeriCoin. I've always done several things at once, and this is definitely, I've been passionate about crypto since 2010, so I don't think that will really be a problem for me. Doug, you want to comment on your own?
Yeah, I mean it's similar story for me. It's not really a choice in a sense. After I read this is not BS, this is straight up. After I read the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper, I actually became obsessed with digital currency essentially. So I'm pursuing all things that I'm interested in at one time, and it's not really a choice. It's something that I feel driven to do, and I'm pursuing my studies and my research as passionately. I feel fortunate that I'm working on things I really enjoy.
Yep. So yeah.
I'll go to the next project or the next question. I mean.
Well, there's a lot of questions that aren't really questions. So someone asked us when the Russia Today interview with Max Kaiser is. Actually, I don't remember us mentioning this, but when we were in Chicago, we met with a guy who's friends with Max Kaiser and is involved with StartJoin. I don't remember his name right now, actually. Do you remember, Doug?
I do not. Paradigm Shift is his Twitter handle, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I should remember, Carl something. Anyway, Carl Gray.
Yeah,
we had a really nice talk at the conference. And anyway, we haven't actually heard back from Max or his group for a couple of days, so I'm going to message them again and see if we can set up the day we can go up to New York and talk to him. But actually, we invited them all to go to the New York Bitcoin Center for our party. Hopefully we'll see them there. The next question, just because it's ridiculous, why do you guys keep pumping the price? Doug and Dave and stuff and I have retweeted and had very light tweets about the price. But we're not really very concerned because we're not going to sell now or soon. So I think the idea is we really want it to be stable more than anything else. Pumps, aren't necessarily bad, but stability is what's key to having merchant adoption. They're not going to get something that either they can possibly lose a ton of value quickly or gain a ton of value quickly because it hurts them when they're doing their calculations for the books. And so, really, price stability is sort of our goal, and it's hard to expect for a few-month-old coin.
Yeah, and I would say that we're really not pumping the price in any way. What we are doing is sometimes retweeting people's excited tweets sometimes those are about, sometimes they're about price. Most of the time they're not. They're about other things. But you know, and the other day I did comment on a little bit on market dynamics, just as a reminder to people, you know, just as a friendly reminder that you know there's an ebb and flow, but in no way are we trying to pump the price, because it's just it's not something that developers should be doing.
Yep. So I guess the next one that we were talking about is any stats on Veribit use. Veribit's used several in the 10 to 100 times per day range, which is good because it means people are using it, but it's you know, it's not being basically, people aren't just trying to get rid of their VeriCoin, which is good also. So yeah, it works. I don't think we've had many problems. A couple people. So there were a couple problems with the early implementation before. If you weren't synced and you sent a transaction, there were sometimes issues where you would lose your coin, which we'd have to send back manually, which we have done. Another thing is sometimes people click the button twice quickly, and it sends the coin twice. So if you notice you're losing double the coins you should be, that's probably because you clicked it too quickly. Either you double clicked on the button that you only need a single click on, or you use a touchscreen and accidentally double clicked or something. So please be very careful when you're using Veribit, as well as Sends, to not double click when you don't need to. Also, in the question, how many postcards do we have to send out at the Bitcoin conference? Well, a lot of people donated enough to get a postcard, but somewhere around 20 and more. And we bought all those postcards, but only like 6 people got back to us with addresses. And StarToin doesn't require that they enter an address, so we really had to hope that everyone got back to us. Instead, I have a bag full of Chicago postcards unsigned just sitting in my room now. So I guess thanks for all the extra paper. But yeah, unfortunately, we only got to send out 6. They actually went out across the world. We only sent to 2 people in the U.S. We went to Slovakia and mostly Europe. I think 1 person in Asia. 1 person in Australia. I don't think anyone from South America. But anyway, it was interesting, and I had to learn about buying postcard stamps for international mailing. I think they're $1.10 if you're wondering, not 34 like a U.S. postcard. Anyway, that was pretty cool, being able to send those out. And I don't really think we need to address any of the questions. You know, someone asked.
One question is, will we become independent of Moolah in the future? So first of all, we're never going to be, we don't foresee us ever being money transmitters, licensed money transmitters that are going to be exchanging currency for fiat. So so we're not going to be independent with regard to that. We're always going to be dependent on some third party. However, we are not going to commit ourselves to one third party. We're going to give people options. Right now, it's early, so there's not many options. But we are going to make, like I said, in the wallet, the fiat portal is going to connect to multiple fiat exchanges in different currencies for converting to different currencies. So we're going to be independent of a particular fiat exchange, but not independent in our own right.
Yep. So I think that pretty much covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and go check out VeriCoin, the VRC clothes, VR clothes, I guess, on Moolah, where you can buy shirts and read Tom Holden's analysis on the economics behind VeriCoin.
Yeah, and a couple more things. The new website will be up soon. We're just putting some finishing touches on it. You can check it out at vericoin.azurewebsites.info. I think, is that right, Pat?
Sorry, can you say it again?
vericoin.azurewebsites.info. I'm pretty sure that's the address.
I don't think it's .info. I think it's .net or something.
Oh yeah, it's .net. So you can check out the new website there. We're gonna push it to the main domain soon. We're just doing some final touches to it. And also, once all the Windows users, the Buy VeriCoin button is working effectively, then we're going to finish up redoing the UI. The whole scenario with MintPal and everything pushed our schedule back a little bit, but we're still working on everything. So the website's coming soon, and then the final version of the Windows, just the Windows wallet, is going to be upgraded soon to cover those people that have the white screen, and then we're going to be finishing up the whole redo of the user interface for the wallet, which will be a little bit different, and we think in some ways better than the original preview, and then we're going to continue moving forward. We're going to give updates in the future soon about the status with decentralized exchange platform that we're working with another group on, and also some of the new aspects of the coin that we're working on that are going to be protocol related, as well as Verisend related, and another kind of secret feature that we're working on. So there's many things coming down the pike, and we're pretty excited about all that.
Cool. So I think that's it. So anyway, hopefully we'll be able to do this again soon with Dave next time. I know he's been busy moving into his new house and stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, take care, guys, and we'll see you at the party on Monday.
Yeah. See you guys.